Hello and welcome to the next vlog. This is a continuation on previous ones where I'm tidying up the engine bay, especially the electrics. You see cables everywhere. There's lots to do still on here. I'm going to concentrate mainly on the battery cables this time. I've been researching costs and things like that, and it seemed to be the most interesting way and cheapest way of making them yourselves. So got all the bits in and did it. So bought some cable and all the other bits and pieces. So there's the which go on each end. Some heat shrink. I thought I'd better get two different colours, and the hydraulic crimp along with the cable cutter. Needed the cable cutter really because the cable was so thick. This is 95mm cross-section cable, which is one of the bigger sorts you can get. The minimum for BSS on boats is 25mm cross-section, so this is way OTT, but thought it would be interesting to do. Anyway, here's the cutter going on here. It's like a ratchet one, which allows you to cut through this thick cable. So that's all the cables cut. So there's 4 black and 3 red. The reason that there's an uneven distribution here is the way they all connect up in the battery bank. So we've got our 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the leisure batteries, and that's the starter battery. So all of them connect up with negative. So all 5 batteries, so hence 1, 2, 3, 4 cables needed on black. And just the leisure ones connect on the red, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's why there's 4 of black and 3 of red. Alright, and just to confirm, these are 95mm. I use high flex ones. These are like welding cables, multi-strand. It's very important you get the right sort of ones. Ideally, I mean, it'd be lovely to get ocean flex, which is the proper stuff to get, but it's very expensive because it's tinned copper. But yeah, so there we go. I just need to get them all crimped up. So we've now got those all cut, and we now need to start thinking about putting ends on them. These are the ones I've got. So you see that you say, get that into focus, that's 95mm, and the 8 is the 8mm for the hole. So that's right for the battery terminals. So really we just need to have it so that this fits into there, about that sort of length. So we just need to cut the sheathing off here. So if I get my trusty Stanley knife and just whiz around, just cutting the sheathing, and then cut right the way down there. So hopefully if I cut that far enough, let's cut that a bit deeper. Okay. So now it should just peel off. That's it. Just give it a bit of a helping hand. I don't want to cut too deep on this because I don't want to cut any of the strands. That's That's it. Just tidy that up a bit. Not sure why that went like that. But yeah, so there you are. So that's all relatively neat there anyway. Let's just see if that fits in there okay. Make sure all the strands go in. Rogue one there. Not the easiest thing to do that, but yeah, so there you go. That's all pushed on there, and you can tell because it's right up against the edge in there, so that's all ready to go. There, so that's all pushed right up to the edge there. And when I do these, I always have it so that if that's going to be bolted down, it displays anything on the cable so that you don't have to go hunting for it when it's all in situ. So the next bit is to crimp it all up. Now this is where this comes in. This is a bit of a beast, this is. It's a hydraulic crimper. It's not too expensive. It's not one of the really silly ones, but it's certainly an investment, so hopefully you can use it more than once. So yeah, it comes with all different dies with different size cables. They're all sort of written on them. So just take out number 16, so that comes out. Take that out, take that out. And now we need to put in 95, which I think is that one, and that one. Yes, good. Right, so put that in there, put that in there, shut that up. Just put my other dies away. And we're good to go. Alright, so here we are. So let's open this up. Stick that through. Let's make sure that's all fully pushed in there. And then you just start pumping. Just trying to make sure this is all lined up properly. Make sure all the threads through. Right, let's make sure before we go any tighter. That is. Okay, don't think that's going to get any better than that. Let's go for it. And just keep on going. definitely can't see any light through the gap. I think that's pretty much it. So to release, turn that. That releases the hydraulics. Let's see if I can get this out. I think I have to pull that out. There. And that's all crimped up. I don't know if you can see that. There you are. So nice bit round there. That's pushed right up to the end. Nope, that's not coming off. That's really good. So after doing both ends, this is what I'm left with. See, it's all crimped in nicely at the ends, with all the copper showing. Don't need to worry about these little bits here, because we're going to put heat sleeving onto that. And this is them all done. Where I cut off a little bit too much, I've put some remaining bits back on, so we can cover that with a heat shrink anyway, but there you go. And this is the heat shrink. I've got black and red. Some people just use black, doesn't really matter. And here we go. Out in the garage here, so I don't burn the house down. Again, this is using the blowtorch rather than a heat gun, which you should use. With the heat shrink, obviously it does shrink and then it produces like a seal around it, so it keeps all the moisture out. There you go, hopefully you can see that. And just repeat lots of times till you get all the battery terminals done. It seems to take ages to start, and then all of a sudden it will shrink very quickly. Danger is when you use the blowtorch is you burn the cables, so you've got to wave it around a little bit. And there you go, all done.
Yeah, and this is them all done.
Didn't really get a very good video of me fitting this, and for some reason I seem to spend quite a lot of time just very still. Obviously I'm thinking about things, but there you go, you can see the new cables are on with the red ones there. I just put some grease on the connections as well. Here are the connections I took off. They were quite bad actually, some of them weren't crimped properly and corroded. And you see how they compare to the new cable in thickness. And here we have a tour of the engine bay with how the electrics are now. Still quite a lot of tidying up to do on the batteries, but the basic bits are done now. Eagle-eyed viewers will have noticed the lighting. This is a new addition. There's a bit about that later on. I've also been rewiring the Webasto, so that goes straight into a new fuse box. And here is that fuse box. So that takes the bilge pump, the Webasto and the new lights, and has an 80 amp fuse going into the batteries. This is live all the time. Just wanted to tidy these up. And here's a demo of my new light switch. You can see I like using a label gun. While I was sorting this out, I noticed one of the control cables was chaffing, so I put a rubber stop around the end just to tidy that up a little bit. At some point my accelerator is going to fail looking at that. Anyway, these are the lights that I got off eBay, just cheapy 12 volt ones, all came on a strip. Just had to cut them up and stick them on really, along with a fuse and a switch. I've been tired of using torches and that in the engine bay, and this seems to be the answer, and it really does give it a good floodlit. Here is a demo. This is taken at night, so it's quite bright in there now. I still need to stick some of these down. They keep falling off. Obviously cheap tape, but I'll sort that out. So yes, nice and bright in there, and then when you're looking outside, pitch black. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.